Oh, okay.
All right, Shalom. We're the Hebrew Israelites. We come out here week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked society known as America, aka Babylon, according to the scriptures. And before we do that, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Kadash.
That's a double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, teach rule well, and a peace of salutation unto the hopeful elect of Yasser Allah. So as you can see, Babylon, aka America, is on its knees, man. You know, it's being taken down through the spirit of power, Yahweh by Shema Shah. You know, this is not a disease or a virus that's actually taking down this society, but prophecy. And with this year being the year of prophecy, that's exactly what's happening. What's going on, brother? The garment?
The my garment, I ain't got.
Oh, you need your
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, the whole point is like prophecy in itself is what's bringing down this society. And it was prophesied that those things were going to happen. Scripture says it was going to be earthquakes, wars, rumors of wars, you know, pestilence. And that's exactly what you see. You know, we've been prophesying these things for years and years and years. You know, our apostles of Great Millstone have been bringing out the same information. And that's exactly what you're seeing. You see a rulership, okay, of wickedness coming to his knees, you know? And so, you brothers hold anything?
No.
Okay, yeah, give me Proverbs 29 and 2, Brother Kushai. You know, because right now the people are mourning, bro. And it's hilarious because what they're mourning for is they don't understand that this society is a corporation. And it's a corporation ran by the people.
Right.
And these people actually have an agenda of taking copper top Americans into captivity. You know, like that's the agenda in itself. You know, and he's gonna, you know, go into the mark of the beast being that RFID microchip. That's the reason why there's an economic crash going on right now.
Right.
You know, so yeah, brother.
Globally.
Go ahead.
Now they're gonna say globally.
Right.
Global economic destruction is taking place.
That's right.
This is Proverbs. I got Proverbs 29 and 2. With the righteous or the authority, the people rejoice.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And that's not going to happen until the kingdom is actually here, according with prophecy. Because we are the righteous, and what makes you righteous are these laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shema Shah. Go ahead.
But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Right. When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And that's exactly what you're seeing. But they don't know why they're mourning. They don't know why they're sheltered in place. You know, they think it's because of this virus, when this virus in itself is man-made. You know, but this is just going to prove how prophecy in itself is showing you that America, aka Babylon, was going to be destroyed. Okay? And showing you at the helm of that is Esau, the so-called white man. Grab for me Job 9 and 24 real quick. You know, because these are the same scriptures that we've been prophesying week in and week out for years. You know, what's going on with the camera, brother?
Oh, nothing.
Okay.
Oh,
these things have been prophesied by Yahweh Shema Shah as a testament to his power. You know, and if one of you brothers want to hold Daniel the 2nd chapter as well, we're gonna get into that too. But go ahead and read what you got, Ike.
Job 9 and 24.
Right?
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's why the people are mourning. You know, they haven't seen mourning before until now. You know, they thought that they were living deliciously. As scripture says in Revelation, the 18th chapter, the merchants of the earth were being able to have commerce and being able to feed off of Babylon's wicked system. But all of that's come to a screeching halt, as the brother was going into. This is an economic shutdown. This is a heist. This is a global heist by the elite, quote-unquote, bankers, okay, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Oppenheimers, you know, all of these, quote-unquote, elites,
Right.
okay? That's what they're doing. They're causing the economy to crash, okay? But that's the earth being given into the hand of the wicked, going right back to prophecy, okay? Now you all are starting to realize the son of perdition, okay, the wicked of the earth, Esau, the so-called white man, is the one that's doing these things. No one is able to blame so-called black people as you all have been able to do for years and years before, you know? oh, well, we're lazy, we're shiftless, you know, all of these other things. This economic crash in itself has been done specifically by Esau, the so-called white man. And it's a wicked act. It's a wicked act to show you that you Americans and across the globe have no power. And that's his whole agenda,
right.
to bring you underneath his quote-unquote rulership, okay, which is really worshiping Satan, you know, a Luciferian doctrine, you know, of him actually sitting in the seat of the Lord and pretending as if he's God. Read the rest of that.
Joel 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
It was given into the hand of the wicked as a part of prophecy, to where these things can be manifested and things can be fulfilled. Scripture says all things must be fulfilled, okay? In the prophets and in the law, okay? So going to show you that these things were going to be made manifest. But that given is by Yahweh Shemi Yahushua to who? Who is the wicked of the earth right now? Go ahead.
Covered the faces of the judges thereof.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof. And that's us, the men of the Lord. We are the judges, okay? We are the ones that can actually rule in righteousness to where the people will rejoice, okay? The people are not going to rejoice as long as Esau, the so-called white man, is in rulership, you know? But he's covering the faces of the judges because we are the ones that have been given the mysteries. We are the ones that have been given the secrets. We are the ones that can actually bring forth true light, which is the truth, which is the understanding of what's really going on, aside from what you're hearing on your damn news channel, in your media, and all of these narratives that Esau, the so-called white man, is crafting, okay, to where he can fulfill his agenda. All right? Go ahead.
Not where and who is it?
If not, where and who is it? Okay? If the earth isn't given into the hand of the wicked, you know, and if he's not covering the faces of the judges thereof, well then, where is the wicked? The scriptures are implying that there's a wicked on the face of this earth, and which is going to be doing evil. And that's exactly what you're seeing out here right now. Okay? Is there room on that? Okay, come. Go ahead.
Just to show that who the wicked is. That's speaking about the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's a nation, okay, that the Most High gave the earth to. So there's Malachi 1 verse 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished. That's that nation, Edom. That's the nation of Esau. Esau became Edom, which are the so-called white people. But we will return and build the desolate places. Thus say Yahweh of hosts, they shall build. You see, that's the prideness of Esau. He believes that he's going to rule forever. But the Most High's response was this: they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, showing you that that nation, Edom, is the border of wickedness, man. That's where wickedness stands, man. That's where wickedness comes out, man. And that's who's ruling right now. The so-called white people, the Edomites, the wicked, man. So it says, and the people against whom Yahweh had indignation forever.
Right. And it say temporarily, brother? It says forever, right?
The people against whom Yahweh had indignation forever.
Forever, right? So this is going to show you that the Lord, as Scripture says, is angry at the wicked every day. You know? So once again, all of these things manifest themselves. The prophets of the Lord have been prophesying of these things to come. That's the reason why we're not shocked. We see these things happen. We can identify according to Scriptures, not according to our own heart, but according to what the Lord has already prophesied for these things to happen to this society, to these people, for all of the wickedness in which is done. Rape, robbery, bloodshed, okay, violence, okay, evil, destruction, you know, blasphemy, okay, religion, Christianity. All these are crafts and imaginations of the wicked, okay? These are the things in which we're talking about theft, slavery, okay? Because that's what this whole system is. It's a system built off of debt. It's a debt-based society, and that's what people are starting to realize now. That's why unemployment is going to go up to 30% very soon. Okay, come. Yep. And not only will it go up to 30%, it's done, going back to the point which I made earlier, because it is a money grab. Okay? All of these corporations and who you've worked for and fell in love with, you know, and you have all of these brands and you wear all of these, you know, name brands from all of these companies. All of these companies are in the hands of maybe 25 different families. So they can turn on and turn off how much money you make at any given time. Inflation, I mean, all right, let's start here and then we're going to get whatever you got. Just the understanding of the Federal Reserve Bank in itself should give you an understanding that this society in itself is run by other people. There's no American way. There's no patriotism. All of that sorcery, lies, and witchcraft that the wicked actually produce. Okay? So hell yeah, they the border of wickedness. Everywhere you go, across the four corners of the globe, you see violence done by so-called white people, man. Okay? And this is not anything that's coming out of our heart. This is coming from the scriptures. To give warning to our people, to where they can understand what's going on. Everybody else is gonna be in this slumber. Go ahead, brother.
Right, because one major sign of an empire falling is when it becomes saturated in debt. You know, and the currency is debased.
Yep.
Yeah, devalued, debased, whatever term you want to use, right? And the scriptures support that. All right, and I got something to bring it out real quick. And I'm gonna get straight to the point. We may go back into this, read up above, but I'm gonna hit the point. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, and verse 6. It says, "Shall not all these take up a variable against him?" The hymn is talking about the so-called white man, all right, the Edomites, which they go back to their forefather Esau, all right. It says, "And a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his."
Robbery.
Exactly. And how long? And to him, the so-called white man, okay, Esau, because he's the present-day ruler of this world. It says, "To him that laden himself with thick clay." Now, if we was to go into the word thick clay, it goes back to the Hebrew word abadiat, which means heavy debt.
Right.
So this man is he pioneered his rulership right here in America, right? Because it tells us in Revelation 17 that woman sat upon the scarlet-colored beast. That woman is America, okay? And America controls the beast system, which is NATO and the EU, right? And it's run based upon saturated debt. Laden with heavy debt. See? So there's no way this place can stand operating in heavy debt.
Right.
Back to what you said earlier.
Right. Yeah,
Go.
yeah, I mean, and all of these things are made manifest as a form of slavery. See, because once you are in debt, you where the scripture say, borrow shall
to the lender.
come. You know what it is?
Yeah.
And so all of these things are being made manifest to show you who that border of wickedness is, being Esau, the so-called white man. Like there's nothing righteous about him, you know? So that's the parable in which is gone out throughout the whole earth, okay, about Esau, the so-called white man, and his dealings and his contracts, you know? Scripture says, beware of him, you know? Why? Because everything in which he's doing is to actually entrap you. I believe the word, well, that's one of them, entrap and enslave. And he does that through that debt-based collection system. However, through prophecy, he's actually the one engineering and pioneering this economic shutdown, because he actually designed it. And as we always go into, the American society economic system is unsustainable. Why? Because you can actually print money out of nothing and place it into the market And now you are devaluing everything that actually had a value before. And now everyone that's in that market has to work 15–20% harder, meaning they're giving more effort in order to get that result in which they had years and years and years previous. It's called usury, okay? And the scriptures talk against usury. And that's exactly how he's destroying the middle class, okay? And making him and his wealthy owners of businesses, okay, more money and creating more slaves or more of an asset to actually feed these corporations. Okay? You got that?
Right. This is Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor.
The rich ruleth over the poor. Go ahead.
And the borrower is servant to the lender.
Right, and the borrower is servant to the lender. And here in this society, even going back to your birth certificate, going back to your driver's license, all of these are documents in which Esau creates to actually make you a servant in his society, to where you can't get any funding. You really don't have a footing unless you go to him, as scripture says in the book of Deuteronomy, for the one of all things. But he's done that globally, not just here in America. So that's what you're seeing now. You're seeing that the rest of these other heathen nations, as the brother was going into in Revelation the 17th chapter, if one of you brothers want to hold that beast, okay, America has been receiving funding from all the rest of these other heathen nations. They've been in league, they've been in the Confederacy, okay? But now these other heathen nations are starting to see that entrapment, just like in Venezuela, other countries that have seen what do they call it? Draconian laws, you know, of Esau, the so-called white man, and how really when you get in bed or when you're intimate with Esau, the so-called white man, in his society, you lose. You lose everything, okay? You'll start off winning. He'll supply you with money, but these other heathen nations are starting to see that dollar, that petrodollar, has no value because it was built on an unsustainable concept, and that concept was to create more slaves, not give you liberty or freedom. And that's that false hope that he pushes out there as far as sorcery.
Right. That debt started to take place. Really, when the debt really started to take off was when they instituted the Gold Standard Act. I believe it was in 1935. That was when, and I have to make the fact check that was when the average citizen could not go to the bank and give a silverback paper money. Right, go ahead with silverbacks, goldbacks, to and then redeem gold or silver from the banks. And then you had something in 1970, you had President Nixon that took the international market, so to speak, off of the gold standard. Meaning nations could not buy and trade, all right, trade and buy and sell using gold or silver. Right. They had to turn their denomination of money into the Federal Reserve note. So he took the international community, so to speak, off of the gold standard. You see. Because after World War II, America, through the Bretton Woods Conference, was deemed that they were going to use the American dollar, the U.S. dollar, as the world reserve currency. You see, but in 1970, under Nixon's presidency, the global community was taking off that was taking off the gold standard, and now they had to solely use the American dollar, or the Federal Reserve note, as the world reserve currency. So I wanted to say this too now. Yes. Oh, scriptures. We'll get the scriptures. The Federal Reserve System in itself is our monetary system is a debt-based system because all its 12 Federal Reserve banks in America, all of them are owned by the Rothschilds and the banking family. Like nobody can buy stock or into the on the Federal Reserve System. That stock, on a stock lock in a barrel, nobody can get in on it. Bid on that. That's for the bankers because that's their privately owned. That's for the international bankers. That's their privately owned banks.
Right.
And that whole concept of a central bank that was adopted from London. Out of London, that was the first central bankers over there in the UK. Okay, so if you understand, if you really understand things on a big scale, this is a debt-based system where the people, where the government borrows money from the Federal Reserve System. That's why you'll hear them talk about the interest rate. They lowered the interest rate on the Federal Reserve. What are they talking about? They're talking about the money that they're lending to the federal government. It's interest on it. That's why it tells you on the dollar that it's a Federal Reserve note, because that note has to get paid back to the bank. You see what I'm saying? And there you go really deep into that. But so the people in America are under this government that operates on a debt-based system. Or monetary system is based upon debt. And that concept has been spread throughout the whole globe. Like if you get into the economic, they got a book out on it, The Economic Hitman, or you can watch a documentary on it. America, through the IMF and the World Banks, have been getting these countries to borrow massive amounts of money, all right, and promise of economic growth in their country, but then they didn't uphold that promise, and the interest rate is through the sky. See, so they gave them this big loan with this really impossible to pay back interest rates, and now what America does is they go over to these different countries that they done lended out massive amount of money to, and then they pretty much make them their servants by buying up the schools, buying up the roads, buying up the industries, and also setting a military base over there to police the minerals that now that country has to sell to America for cheap, because America didn't fuck them over, spoil them, by getting them to take that loan, that big loan with high interest rates that they can't pay back. So now they come in and they buy up every goddamn thing, okay? And have America sell oil and other resources to American corporations for pennies on the dollar. So really when you look at it, America has got the whole global economy in debt by doing these things. You know, really the whole global economy is propped up on debt, man. What you got out? Okay. So, well, yeah, going back to the scripture in Proverbs 22:7, the borrower is subject to the lender. So we are all, if you think you're free, you're really not, because we under a system where the money that you use to buy goods and services, right, or to run your business, right, that money has to get paid back to the Federal Reserve, all right, or at least the interest. So when we look at the debt of America, the national debt, really when you factor in the liability, the unfunded liability, you can look that up on the, It's I think it tell you around 130 something trillion, but the number is actually more so closer to about 200 trillion, or it could be more than that. So we're talking about 200 trillion that is, and only maybe about 3 or 4% of that is owed to these different countries. So the majority of that money is owed to the Federal Reserve. All right. All these other countries are holding debt by messing with America, man. You know? So pretty much this whole global the global economy is saturated in debt.
Right.
Behind who? The so-called white man. And his philosophy. That's part of the wine. Part of the wine of the devil. The scripture talk about real like in the scripture Jeremiah 51. Talking about the 51 where it says Babylon has been a golden cup. I believe it's like the 6th or 7th verse.
Jeremiah
7.
Babylon had been a golden cup.
Right.
And the Lord said, it made all the earth drunken.
It made all the earth drunken. Right? Talking about all the different nations across the 4 corners of the globe.
The nations have drunken of a wine.
The nations have drunken of a wine. So that wine represents what? Philosophy. The main, one of the main parts of a philosophy is democracy. That concept has been spread over the globe, okay? When you elect your government officials in the power, right?
Right.
When you elect presidents or a parliament or elect rulers, so to speak. You see? And another thing is these countries have bought into the idea that wine of borrowing money. Okay? And it's destroying the globe right now. That's a big reason why there's going to be a third world war. You know? Because America, that's how, where it talks about she is a whore that basically laid down with these nations, talking about America. America that got in bed contractual agreements. These nations, all right, they trusted in that, they trusted in her way, America's way, which is really all about debt. And it destroys the economy, it destroys families, it destroys the people. You see, a lot of people said, damn, we got in bed contractually with you, and now you establish it back. That's why I say that, you read the part we say the nations of man? That's a lot.
Right. Jeremiah 47. Babylon had been a golden cup.
Right, at one point in time, this place was a golden cup. Okay? Now this place is falling.
Real quick, what made it a golden cup was the fact that these other heathen nations were actually funding it.
Right.
You know? So yeah, just add that.
Babylon had been a golden cup, the Lord saying, and made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of the wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Right. The nation that trusted in this way, not because they believed in on a moral level, believed in the philosophy of the so-called white man. They did it for money reasons. All right. They got in bed with America to make money.
Right.
All right. And Esau, the so-called white man, did not uphold, like he's never done, his end of the contract. See? Esau have all kind of hidden loopholes in the contract where he can go and change, or just he'll just not abide by it and then go to war with it.
Right, yep.
You know?
Yeah, I was going to add that as well. That's another reason why these other nations are actually in bed with America as well. Is because America has that gift of the sword. And it's been able to use that as a backup if these other countries and nations were not in agreement with its concepts. You know, so it could kind of offer that democracy as like, okay, yeah, we really want to kind of help you guys out. We really want to, do business with you all. But those words, those lying words, those crafty words, is how that nation failed. But let's just say a nation like Russia, okay, that was once and still is against America, okay. The reason why Russia can actually have a little bit more of a stalemate is because it actually has that fighting power to go against America. But America has that global gift of the sword in which it can kind of be a tyrant against all the rest of these nations as well. You know, so just to add to the reason why, you know, Esau can actually use that gift of lying, you know, and if that doesn't work, then he'll just come back with the gift of the sword, you know, or deceit, you know, which is the same thing.
Right.
Which is another form of wine, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. Was there more on that?
Was you finished with that verse? Okay, that's it.
Come on, I got a quick scripture for you, bro. This is Wisdom of Solomon. Actually.
That's the ultimate way you can I gonna say, yeah, that's one of the ultimate ways you can enslave a person is by having that person owe you money or that nation owe you money. You see? Because the truth be told, Esau is responsible for funding both sides of the war. If you go into these major wars that have been kicked off, we can go as far as back in World War I. Esau funds both sides, and he's guaranteed how he's guaranteed to get his money back from funding both sides is by taxing people. Okay? That's really where our tax dollars go. Our tax dollars really go to pay back the interest on the loans from the Federal Reserve system. Okay? Yeah.
This is Salaki. I said Wisdom of Solomon. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness." So yeah, I mean, you're never supposed to trust your enemy. But once again, you know that parable that the brother had read in Habakkuk the 2nd chapter hadn't gone out. You know that border of wickedness, that notoriety, you know, of how wicked Esau, the so-called white man, is. None of those things were known at that time. They were still figuring out and filling out Esau, you know. But we know, as Scripture says, to never trust thine enemy, you know. As iron rusted, so shall his wickedness. So he's going to wax worse and worse and more debt towards whoever he's in bed with or in league with. Because, as Scripture says, back in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, he cannot be satisfied with death, you know? And so these are the things in which he does. He'll destroy you by those lying words, and then he'll enslave you through his debt-based system, you know? So
and then set up a puppet leader.
Right.
Like for an example, go over to a nation, right? And get with the leaders of the government, right? And tell them that they want to bring prosperity economically to the country by building water dams, by building power plants, right? And create jobs and grow the economy, right? And don't worry, we'll get funded. Okay,
Right,
we'll
right.
fund this, and we'll bring over KBR through Halliburton and Slumberger, Schlumberger, short for Slumberger,
Right.
and different contracting corporations.
Right.
Go over there, build up these infrastructures, and promise that he's gonna bring economic prosperity to this country.
Right.
Right. All the while, you know, he gotta go and he gotta destroy villages and shit to do this, to clear the way to build that infrastructure, those different infrastructures. All right. Now he didn't fund. He told they didn't sign the contract to take on all that debt, and they have maybe a 30-year yield on it, where they got 30 years to pay this back or whatever. But the interest rate is blown out of proportion, so there's no way to pay this loan back.
Right.
So now Esau, well, one thing he does, what he do is he'll go back over there and say, well, you owe us money because you can't pay this loan back, and now you must sell your resources to our American corporation for penny on the dollar.
Right.
And also, we gonna buy up the school system. We're gonna buy up the industries over here, and we're gonna spread our wine over here. That's the main way Esau got a foothold in these countries, to spread his way of life. You see what I'm saying? And it's been brought these countries to their knees. Okay, that's why the earth is really in the condition that it's in. And these nations are crying up out against this place, burning the American flag, burning the Israeli flag, is because they know that the so-called, the root cause of their condition is because of the so-called white people.
Real quick, this is Micah chapter 2, verse, I'm going to start at 1.
Yeah.
It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. So going right back to Job 9 and 24, the earth being given into the hand of the wicked, you know. So they practice evil, you know, they devise evil, you know. They have these think tanks that actually craft up these situations, you know, these quote unquote lawyers, you know, and then they actually use the English language, which in itself is ambiguous, you know, and has multiple definitions to where now he can contractually, as they say, the pen is mightier than the sword.
Right.
So that's how he'll entrap you, and then ultimately he'll take all of your resources is through that contract. You know, he'll say, all right, well, this is what we can do instead. Instead, we'll take all of your land, and then we'll call it even. You know, he's one always making the arrangements and the agreements. You know, because initially you start off and you win it, but constantly throughout the period of time, you know, he starts to take more and more back from you through that usury and through that practicing of evil.
Right.
You know?
That's how this bastard got, and then, you know, continue to read, got, like Texas, I believe, like New Mexico, California, or at least the southern part of California, some other states too, is by signing contracts that he didn't uphold. For an example, Texas really is a part of Mexico, right? And Esau had agreed to contracts with the Mexican government. At the time, I believe it was a so-called black man by the name of damn, I can't think of his name. He was either the second or the third president of Mexico. Damn, I can't. It'll come to me. But the one that was signing these contracts that they were gonna abide by the laws over here, they were gonna get treated fair. The Mexican government was gonna give them a plot of land. They could come over here and you know, sustain themselves and even, you know, grow businesses and things of that nature. But there was Stephen F. Austin, father, Moses Austin, that was signing them contracts with, initially signing them contracts with the Mexican government, and then he died off and Stephen F. Austin came into play, and they were supposed to uphold the agreements of the contract, which outlawed slavery. Okay, and outlawed different, really outlawed slavery. But Esau said, well, hold on. We make too much money off of slavery. Okay, we make too much money off of free slave labor. But these slaves picking cotton, picking sugar cane. Okay, and that's really what the whole reason of that Texas Revolution was all about. It was all about Esau not upholding his end of the bargain of the contract.
Right.
So, and causing problems. So now, since y'all don't want to let us do what we want to do, even though the contract states that we're supposed to do this, we're going to go to war with you. And then call it the Texas Revolution. That's how this devil worked, man. So he took this land because they didn't want to follow the rules of the contract. Went to war with this place. Now, Texas is part of the United States and not Mexico. You know, we got
Yeah, go ahead. When we get back to that part. Sirach 12. Okay. 16.
Yeah, let's go.
And enemy speaking sweetly with his lips. Woo! But in his heart, he imagined how to go into the evil. That's how Esau's your own, man. You know, he's speaks with things, you know, and he's going to do something, you know, benefit in actuality, you know what I'm saying, it's for his game, man. You know what I'm saying, how overthrow you, take you down, man. You still, you know what I'm saying, still resources. You And brother brought out how he made the covenant, you know what I'm saying? Like Gad and Ruben, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right.
What did you just bring out?
12, 16.
Okay.
Yeah, read that again.
Sirach 12 and 16.
Right.
The enemy speaking sweetly with his lips.
So once again, going back to the enemy, never trust in that enemy. Because once you know that you have an enemy, then you're not going to be as easily compelled, okay, to actually do business with him. You know? And that's what these other heathen nations fell into, including our nation as well. You know, because we didn't understand at that time that the enemy was Esau, the so-called white man. You know? But now those things are being revealed. Now everyone's seeing the so-called white man's track record, you know, and seeing that every nation that got in league with him crumbled after him. You know, that's what makes Babylon a whore. Okay? Or as the scripture says, and I believe in Proverbs, the 7th chapter or the 6th chapter, about how a whore is a deep ditch or a deep pit. I want to say it says pit. And that pit goes into you going into it, enslavement. Okay? Alright? So yeah, finish what you got, and I got it.
Sirach 12 and 16.
Right.
The enemy speaking sweetly with his lips.
He's speaking sweetly with his lips. Once again, you know, how is he speaking sweetly? Oh man, don't worry about it, man. I got you, bro. We can do this, we can do that, And you start to believe it. That goes into that why. That goes into that philosophy because you're drinking it up. Okay? You don't know that it's something harmful to you until it actually it rots in your belly. And by that time, it's too late. You've been poisoned. Okay? Go ahead.
But in his heart, he imagined how to throw you into a pit.
In his heart, he's imagining, going back to that imagination in which they devise iniquity upon their beds, okay? Because it's in the power of their hands. He's the one that's actually imagining how to overtake you. Just like in the example of stealing, quote unquote, America, okay? Or the land, okay, of Gad and Reuben, okay? So the whole while he came over here, he was telling the, you know what the scripture says, peace, by peace he shall destroy many, or when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction.
I know that.
You know? So the point being here is this: all of these things are coming because of those sweet words, man. You know, as scripture says, a gift destroyed the heart, man. And that's what he's using. He's using his mind against your mind, but he's using a gift, something that's enticing to you, to actually now covertly come back around and stab you in the back. Okay?
I got a preacher out here. I told you. Bring it out.
Okay.
So, it ain't the one you get.
Yeah. It's in the spirit.
Yeah, 55. Start at 20.
Because the whole point is, Esau, the so-called white man, is the wicked. Okay? All of these scenarios we're going into from the very beginning of time all the way up to now are to prove that he is the wicked. All right? And that he is the enemy of righteousness. He's the enemy of Yahweh Shem Shai. He's the enemy of the ways of life. Okay? That's why the scripture says he can't be satisfied with death.
I got what you were talking about.
Okay, come on. Go ahead and bring that out, bro.
Daniel chapter 8. Yeah, Daniel chapter 8. This account is referring to Antiochus Epiphanes, but this is the mindset, okay, of all Edomites. Okay, especially when they're in a position of power. All right, this is Daniel 8:25. It says, and through his policy.
Right. Once again, hey, that policy goes back to that what? Those words, speaking sweetly. You know, that contract. You know, because that's what he offers you. It says, even that arrangement. Hey, let's sit down, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at the contract. We'll both read it, and we'll agree to it. And as soon as you do that, go ahead.
Let me read from the top. And through his policy also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
In his hand, going right back to Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Right? Scripture said, I'm going to read it again. It says, Micah 2 and 1, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And that's exactly what the brother's reading, pursuant to Antiochus Epiphanes, which in reincarnation is Esau, the so-called white man, again. Go ahead.
It says, and he shall magnify himself in his heart.
Right, in his mind. Once again, yeah, you got it, bro.
And by peace
Woo!
shall destroy many.
By peace he shall destroy many. You know? He's going to use that peace as a way or a gift to destroy your heart and really create a way for him to put you in a debt-based society, although you don't know it. See, Esau, the so-called white man, is working multi-dimensionally, but you're only working on a one-dimensional level. And that's how he's causing craft to prosper in his hand. That craft is a form of power and of deceit and of that wine. Once again, it says he practices it. Just like if you're making a stew or something like that. The first time you make it, it might be okay. But by that 100th time you make that stew or that wine or that philosophy, hey man, it's sweet. It says sweet words, right? Were you throwing that brother?
No, it's more.
Okay, go ahead. He says speaking sweetly with his lips. Yeah, you're like, man, okay, yeah.
Right.
We gonna come up, man.
All the while, he's speaking so sweet, but he got his military with him.
Right.
He come with them peaceful words with the military behind him.
Right.
You know? So how you coming in peace with the military here for? You know? All right, it says, he shall stand up against the prince of princes.
Yahushua.
Exactly. But he shall be broken without hand.
Woo! You gonna speak on it?
Right, ultimately Esau is going to be broken. And then you go into the history, Antiochus Epiphanes died a horrible death.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And the Greek Empire was taken down.
Right.
Okay, by it was white on white crime. Esau against Esau. The Romans took the Greeks down. And ultimately the Roman Empire coming back as America and NATO and the EU is going to be broken. It's going to be taken down.
Right.
Why? Because this place was built up upon wickedness and bloodshed, rape, robbery, and murder. Okay? Witchcraft.
Good.
Yeah, that's all I had right there.
Yeah, and it says it's gonna be taken down without hand. You know? That's gonna be a power. As scripture says, Yahweh Shemi Shai is going to return and he is not going to meet you as a man. It's going to be a power. Just in the ways in which the Elohim created the heavens and the earth, that was spoken through power. Not by hand, but by power. Okay? So yeah, it goes to show you that, hey, Babylon in itself right now is being taken down without hand. Nobody's like literally, going in and making these adjustments, But Yahweh Shemi Shai's power through prophecy is actually bringing down this society. Okay? Finish what you got.
Can I say something real quick? Earlier I was speaking about in 1935, they had the gold standard act. It was actually the gold reserve act. Pretty much everybody had to surrender that gold, and that's give it over to the banks, and that's where that whole Fort Knox thing came out of.
Was that after the Federal Reserve?
Yeah, the Federal Reserve Act was put in the legislation in 1910, but it was actually passed in 1913. But when people had to surrender over their gold, people could no more go to the banks and redeem gold or silver by turning in a silver back, gold back. That ended in 1934. I just looked it up to make sure I'm on point. Right? But
Sirach 12, 16.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was the Gold Reserve Act. Gold Reserve Act. That's what it was, not the Gold Standard Act. Gold Reserve Act.
Yeah, Esau could just write up, any of these things. You know, he'll change it tomorrow. You know, that's why he has all these amendments. You know, he's the only one that can literally take the pen to the paper and change the agreement. He'll change the game right in the middle. You know, we playing 21. Next thing you know, it's like, all right, well, I scored 2, I won. Like, damn. But that's who you're dealing with. You're dealing with wickedness. Okay? That's why the scripture says, never trust thine enemy. That's why the scripture said that the Lord had indignation, okay, with Edom forever. Okay? Go ahead.
So Acts 16, 12 to 16.
Done.
And enemy speaking sweetly with his lips,
Right.
but in his heart, you imagine how he throw you down, throw you into a pit.
Throw thee into a pit. So that goes back to everything in which we're talking about. A debt-based system to create slaves, to where the borrower is servant unto the lender. Okay? Because he knows that even if he doesn't get you in this debt-based society, he'll just have you off through his military.
Exactly. That goes into what I was speaking about earlier about the economic hitman. Before you see on the mainstream media about America going into Iraq, okay, or whatever, because there's weapons of mass destruction over there, you got to take down Saddam Hussein. Before you get to that point, they go over and they send that economic hitman to set the terms of that loan with that nation. See? And if the leader is not down with it,
Right.
okay, they'll send in, they call it a jackal or like a hitman to try to take him out. But if he's heavily guarded and got tight security, you can't get him that way. Right? Then that's when you'll see the military with propaganda on I'm saying the military. Yeah, you'll see the military being propagated through the media that there's a evil regime over there that's committing genocide on the people.
Right.
That's housing terrorists, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Then they'll go and they'll take them out. And then what they do is they'll set up a puppet leader that will go along with the program. With their wine.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. That's craft prospering. You know? That's him imagining war in his heart. You know? So yeah, real quick, I got a piece of this is going back to what the brother had read. This is Psalms chapter 55, verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. You can break it down, y'all, right? It says, his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Come. Psalms 55 and 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Right. So he's a double, he's a deceiver, man. You know what I'm saying? You're going to present yourself as, you know what I'm saying, some way for to help benefit you.
Right.
You know, with these smooth words, you know.
Yep, come. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Right. The war is in his heart, man. You know what I'm saying? That's his intention, man.
Right.
You know, to go to these other nations and steal their resources, man. Right. You know?
Come. It says, his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Yeah. Oh, and that's self-explanatory. Swords, going again into his gift. They were drawing swords the whole while. He was speaking sweetly with those words. You know, he was looking for an avenue or angle, something in which he felt that you were vulnerable in, for him to actually put you into that pit. Or, you know, even in the movie Get Out, they talk about the sunken place. See, Esau has to be, quote unquote, in control of all things. Because if not, he feels like he's vulnerable, you know? But that goes back to him, the earth being given into the hand of the wicked. He feels like, hey man, look, I got the fatness of the earth. I'm gonna come up to you, bro. And if you ain't willing to do business the way I want to do business, I'm just gonna take you out anyway.
Right, I'm just gonna take it.
Right. You know, that's a tyrant, or they call it a oligarch. Okay, an oligarch. Okay. If one of you brothers want to look that up real quick, oligarch. Basically, it's an overlord of wickedness. You got a precept out?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just like Muammar Gaddafi, for an example.
Right.
He didn't want to do business, okay, like Esau wanted him to do.
Right.
Okay, so they just shot what they did when they under Obama presidency. They shot them. I don't know if it was Tomahawk missiles or what they shot over there.
Right.
They didn't even.
Right.
Yeah, they just blew. They just shot missiles over there right and got them. I believe that's how they killed him. You know, because he didn't want to deal with the Federal Reserve no more.
Right.
See, so I'm not gonna take I don't want that. Y'all pay me in gold for the oil or the resources.
You chip
that
to the
we
game.
got. You know. How you say that word?
Oligarch. Oligarch. But yeah, I mean, essentially, that's what Esau, the so-called white man, is. He feels like everything he's entitled to. That word entitlement. You know? Oligarch. It should pop up if that ain't spelled correct.
And it got wise.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
All right.
You ready? Go ahead.
It says, this just off the Google. It says a small group of people having control of a country, organization, or institution. The ruling oligarchy of military men around the president. You want me to go deeper into it?
I mean, the concept is it's a confederacy. It's a small group of people. It's the Rothschilds.
Right.
It's an elite group of people. Well, you know, so-called elite. Okay, in which they devised all of this iniquity and caused, you know, these contracts and that policy to go out as if it was something that was actually beneficial, and realizing that it's not beneficial.
Right.
You know, it's beneficial for them, but it's not beneficial for you. But he makes it appear as though, what scripture say with those enticing words?
Right. Hey,
You
like
know?
this,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, bro. Like this recent stimulus package that was passed, bill that was passed. Right? To the people, because the Americans, especially the American people, are so goddamn stupid, they think because, I'm trying to get a check, the ones that don't get a check, all right, and businesses that's gonna get money to run their kind of give them leverage to bounce back on their business.
Right.
It looks good on face value. We're gonna stimulate the country by dumping more inflated.
Right. By creating more debt.
They created more. That's the thing. Created more. So really, it's a bad thing. It sounds sweet, especially to a date.
Right.
That really is destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You know, they think that $1,200 to what $2,000, $2,400 is a sweet deal. Not knowing that all that's doing is driving the American economy. So the American economy further into debt.
Right. Yeah, done. And when you go back and you look at it even financially, right? You know, they say a recession is what, like 2 months of a loss, you know, consecutively. So basically, or 2 quarters. I think it's two financial quarters. Yeah. There's 2 financial quarters in which there's no profit. That's called a recession. And what we're entering into is a depression.
Yeah.
And a depression is 4 quarters, okay, consecutively of no gains.
Right.
But he's gonna try to entice the people with, I'm gonna give you $1,200 for your whole family and another $100 for this. He's a salesman.
Right. The farmers, he telling them, they giving these farmers are operating off massive debt. The whole farming industry here in America, these farmers are operating off big massive debt. This system is the debt-based system, man. All the way around. You know? And it's just gonna further, and it's all engineered by the elites, and they think by bankrupting this place, that's how they're gonna, and not just this place, the whole world, that's how they're gonna gonna roll out the new, but that is how they gonna roll out the new monetary system, which is gonna be based off the RFID microchip.
Right.
Ultimately, the Most High is gonna put a monkey wrench in that shit and then take you down, man. You know,
Right. Done.
whatever you got.
This is back in Micah chapter 2, verse 1. This Micah, it says 2 and 1. Woe, and the word woe means destruction. Okay? It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
Right. Ultimately, the ultimate thing that the so-called white man does, he's into coveting. Scripture don't go in coveting a field, apply a land that has resources on it, and then take it. Alright, but before he does that, he sits down and he devises a plan. He comes up with a strategy of how he's gonna do it.
Right.
You see, and then he put it into action. He makes a move on all his plans. All right.
Right. Hey, that's what we're talking about. Esau has war in his heart. So yeah, before he comes and speaks to you sweetly, he already understands
Right.
what they call it, they say having the end in mind.
Right.
So the end result is him enslaving you. But initially, he's going to befriend you, you know. Matter of fact, you still in Sirach 12? Read from Sirach 12, 16 down.
Sirach 12 and 16. It says, "An enemy speaks sweetly with his lips,
Right.
but in his heart he imagines how to throw thee into the pit. He will weep with his eyes,
Right.
but if he find opportunity,
Woo! Here it comes.
he will not be satisfied with blood."
He ain't gonna be satisfied with blood. So he has the end in mind to turn you into a slave. But ultimately, once again, going back to what the brothers and I are talking about, if you don't get down with the program, he's gonna come through with them troops. He's gonna let you have that work. And that's exactly what he's gonna do as far as this new world order is concerned. Everyone in which is, not complying with the system of a new world order, a digital currency, a digital dollar, and then ultimately leading to the RFID microchip. If you don't take these vaccinations, if you don't abide by these laws, then ultimately he's gonna be like, oh man, I can't believe that you guys didn't do it, man. Well, I'm gonna have to kill you. Isn't that what the scripture said? Read that again one more time.
Cuz.
It says, he will weep with his eyes.
He's gonna weep with his eyes and be like, oh, please take the chip. Please, be a part of my new world order.
Through like, I'm trying to say, presenting it as if he's for your game.
Right.
That he's not like, go ahead. It came to mind just now, it's like how they push the whole social distancing thing.
Right.
They keep pushing on the media, it's gonna help save thousands of people. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. Oh, like with the brother speaking on the mark of the beast, the RFID chip, which is the RFID microchip, he's gonna present it in the form of this is a way to bring a stable economy to the world.
Right.
This is gonna help. This is gonna eliminate child abduction. This is gonna eliminate a person that has a particular ailment, and starts having a heart attack, okay, and we can't find their wallet or their purse to get their ID to identify them to see what the problem is. So we can go into the system and say this is such and such. Oh, they have high blood pressure,
Right.
or whatever the case is. They can just scan the chip. It'll make it a way to
Convenient.
to help the people.
Yeah, convenient.
See, ultimately, it's all about absolute ownership over the people.
Right. Yeah, come. You was gonna say something else? Okay, go ahead.
It says he will weep with his eyes, but if you find opportunity,
It's a lot.
Right.
he will not
That's
be
a lot.
satisfied
It's a lot.
with blood.
He's not gonna be satisfied with blood. Go ahead.
It says,
Actually, jump down if you don't mind. Sirach 13 and 4.
Can I make a point real quick? And the scripture say he is not satisfied with blood because after this man destroys a nation of people, us, the prime example, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, he didn't just slaughter us, he stole our identity, okay? He took our identity from us, right? And then indoctrinated us with his way of life. Like Gad, let's use Gad, the so-called Native American Indians. He slaughtered them, right? Took their land, and that wasn't enough. He went as far as sending the children off to boarding school to turn them into civilized, so-called civilized people. And took them away from being savage. So it wasn't enough just to take the land, destroy them, take the land. Now he went further into destroying them on the psychological level,
Right.
spiritual level.
Right. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's exactly what this is gonna go into. Yeah. That's beautiful. Go ahead. Start at 4, Brother Prashad. Or 3.
Sirach 13.
No, start at 1. Select it, brother. Let's just read down.
Okay, 13 and 1. He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith.
And pitch is talking about Esau, the so-called white man. You know, in the other sense, it's really talking about things that are soiled, things that are corrupted. You know, but likewise, when you deal with Esau, the so-called white man, that's pitch. That's dirt. That's things that are soiled. You know, tainted. You know. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And he that have fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him.
Watch your finger, brother.
All right, verse 2.
Hey, read that again, Salaki, bro.
It says, and he that have fellowship with a proud man
And he that hath fellowship with a proud man, go ahead,
shall be like unto him.
shall be like unto him. You know, and that's exactly what happened to these other heathen nations. They became proud. That's why they made a confederacy. They understood, oh, okay, well, you know, shit, we don't want these Israelites to wake up. We don't want these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to wake up. So, shit, we're going to be proud against them. Let's make a confederacy against them, and then at least that way we'll be better than them. But they didn't understand prophecy. They didn't understand that we were going to have our time. You know? Go ahead.
Murder not thyself above thy power while thou livest.
Right.
And have no fellowship with one that is mightier and richer than thyself.
Right, yeah, exactly. Because once again, what happens? You become a servant to him.
Exactly.
You know? And that's what he wants. He wants you to obey his will and not the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Hey, pan around. That's the reason why you don't see anybody out here on the highways and byways except for the men of the Lord. Okay? Because we have our marching orders from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Scripture says, fear not man, okay, but fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay? Go ahead.
For how agree the kettle and the earthen pot together.
Right, go ahead.
For if the one be split against the other,
Right.
it shall be broken.
Right, so what agreement does the kettle, which is made out of cast iron, okay, have to do with the earthen pot? The earthen pot is made out of clay. They're not going to have an agreement. One is going to overtake the other. That's the rich man, quote unquote, Esau, the so-called white man, in his society, and how it's built off of usury and debt to put you into that pit. It's going to ultimately destroy you just as it has done our people. And it's broken us down to where like we're scattered and we're crushed. And as the brother was going into, not only does he do that, he steals all your resources and your property and your belief system. Okay? He then corrupts you further by placing a label on who you are. He completely destroys everything in which you were and now creates a new identity for you to associate with. And if you don't associate with that, then you're out of his league and he comes back and brings more oppression to you. Go ahead. So there's no agreement. We can't make any covenant with these damn oppressors, with evil. You know? Go ahead.
All Sirach 13:3. The rich man has done wrong,
Right.
and yet threatened with God.
And threatened with all. Go ahead.
Ain't that a bitch?
Right. Go ahead.
The poor is wrong, and he must entreat also.
Right. Right. Go ahead.
If thou be for his profit,
Here you go.
he will use thee.
If thou be for his profit, he will use you. Like, hey, man, hey, let's do a deal, man. Come on, man, let's work it out. Look, hey, I know you need some resources. I know you want to use this dollar. I know you want to feed your family. Stimulus package, okay? I know you don't want to just be sitting up in the house not having no food.
Right. Ultimately, he got in his mind, I'm gonna chip you.
Right.
In my mind, I want you to believe in me so you can take this chip.
Yep.
You know?
Right. Right. Read for again.
It says, if thou be for his profit,
If thou be for his profit. Once again, going back to what he wants. He wants you destroyed. He wants our nation destroyed, but he needs just a few to actually keep this system going. And as long as you can keep producing babies, okay, then he got somebody else to continue his system because he's already reprogrammed you to believe in him and not in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That was the creation of religion and other philosophy, going back to that golden cup. But Yahweh Shem Yahushua made Babylon that golden cup, man, for a snare unto 2/3 of our people that didn't want to get right with these holy scriptures. Okay?
Right.
That's the reason why you don't see but the men of the Lord out here on the highways and byways, the hopeful elect. Okay? See, because we weren't spoiled by that philosophy. You know? The Lord gave us insight to see these things before they were written. Going back to this year being the year of prophecy. Okay? Go ahead.
You mean before they happen?
Is that what I said?
Now you said before they were real.
Oh, okay. Salaki. Before they happen.
Right.
Done.
Through us, by us reading or knowing what's written, or understanding what's written.
Done.
Be able to see these things. We once was caught up in this world. The Most High took us out of this world. You know, we had dreams and aspirations and believed in this place on some level, some angle or degree at one point. Okay?
Right.
Then when the Most High woke us up, okay, to this truth, then we was able to see the big picture and have understanding of what everything is all about. You know? You gotta go. It says, but if thou have nothing,
But if thou have nothing, go ahead.
he will forsake thee.
He gonna forsake you. Go ahead.
If thou have anything,
If thou have anything,
he will live with thee.
he gonna live with you. He gonna make that agreement. We got, hey man, we gonna do great things, man. Da, 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 da. Go ahead.
Yea, he will make thee bare.
He will make you bare, empty, zero, zilch, spoiled, robbed, vain. Okay, go ahead.
And will not be sorry.
He ain't gonna be sorry for it at all. Okay? He gonna break you down. Okay? He's gonna put that philosophy all on you, those spells, that witchcraft, poison you, and everything in which you eat and drinking, your whole lifestyle, quote unquote, is poison. And he makes you fall in love with it too. With poison, man. You know? And those things are what corrupt you and corrupt your mind and corrupt your spirit to where you can't hear this word. Ultimately, it's Yahweh Shem Yahushua that actually rejected you. You know? Is there more than that? What verse you at? 6? Okay, go ahead. Read 7. Oh, this is going back to what the brother was talking about. Even after he's taken all those things from you, he's going to continue. Okay? Go ahead.
All right, Sirach 13.
Even after you dead, your whole, I mean, he done killed off your family. Gad and Reuben, you know, we'll keep, you know, with that scenario. But then he'll put you in a reservation and then just pour another with alcohol on you. You know, as far as just like, you know, inundating you with another way of spoiling you. And these things have to be accounted for and will be accounted for. Okay? This is why you see the downfall of America. This is judgment coming from Yahweh Shemiah.
Right.
Okay? Go ahead.
And he will save thee by his meats.
Right? He will shame thee by his meats. Those meats go into those philosophies, those doctrines in which you eat up. Okay? That spoil your mind to believe, oh, well, I'm black. Or, oh, well, you know, quote unquote, Jesus is the name of the Heavenly Father.
Right.
Or the name of the Lord.
And have absolutely nothing.
Right. Right.
What do you have? What do a so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American have? We don't even have our identity. We don't have land that we own. Nobody has a allodial title to their property. Okay, or can obtain one. Okay?
Right.
You don't own your car because you know if well, if you finance the car, it can be taken away from you if you don't pay the loan. You know, keep up the payments on it, right? And ultimately, they got laws, executive laws on the book, okay, to where they can take control of your personal business.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't own shit. You don't own your house. You pay on the house. Most people never get to the point of paying off a 30-year mortgage. Okay. And if you do, you don't own it, because if you don't uphold property taxes on that house, they can take it from you. See?
Right.
So you don't have nothing, but all the while in your mind you have his way of his philosophy in your mind, and you think that you about something, but all along you destroy it. Now that's what's going on. Has been going on since we've been up under this so-called white man, under his rule. You see, we've been stripped bare of everything. Okay, taken out of our you've taken over gas land. Okay, moving Issachar, the other Latin tribes really dominate dictate their land, right? And all the while has his philosophy in their mind, right? You go to look at the Latin tribe; they're indoctrinated with Roman Catholicism. See? Go ahead, bro.
All right. Until he have drawn twice or thrice, and at the least he will left thee to spoil.
It says, until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice. He's going to keep on using you. So as I was talking about, even after your family is destroyed, he's going to find another way to where it's almost like creating a way for your generation and the next generations not to have any identification of what he's done. That's the reason why he's trying to rewrite and erase history, you know? Because the longer span of time it goes, and he's teaching one thing and destroying what was, people have no record or remembrance of what the truth was. And now they believe in Christopher Columbus, and they celebrate that shit. That's twice or thrice. Because it's now an ongoing, quote-unquote, holiday in which he's made a part of this society. You know? It says twice or thrice, man. It says it's going to draw you dry. From what? Your resources. Whatever that may be. You know?
Our power.
Right.
Yeah, that's the main thing. This bastard is, in the Most High set this all up, you know? It's all according to the Most High's movement, so to speak, based upon prophecy. All right? This man's agenda was to disconnect us from our power, and he's accomplished it on the masses. But here in these last days, according to biblical prophecy, the Most High is going to wake a remnant of his people up. That's the elect. You know? That's what you see. That's why you see so many of our people waking up all over the world, okay? Especially over the past decade, it's been a high influx of our people waking up to who they are. Through what? Through the preaching of the word. The word going out. You know? Y'all got something?
Finish that last verse again. I want to finish that mic and then whatever you got.
And at the last, he will laugh you to scorn.
And at the last, he's gonna laugh you to scorn. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. He told everybody to get inside, and everybody did it. No words, no kickback or nothing. All he had to do was just put it on the TV.
Right, and he's laughing at, look, these people are going crazy because he just shut down America. People are literally going crazy, and he knew that was gonna happen. He already, going back to Micah, he already knew the reaction that the people was gonna give up. Because he just sat down beforehand and planned out the problem, knew he was gonna get a reaction, and he gonna come with the solution. You see, and he's laughing about this whole thing. You know, he's giving an example. He's laughing at the American people in general, not just Jake, you know. He's laughing because y'all have no mental and spiritual substance to really have you hold you down for something like this. Like, we understand this place is not shit because we understand what's in the scripture. It ain't bugging us out and driving us crazy that this place is shut down because we have preserved riches, spiritual riches, okay, which is the understanding of these scriptures. So when shit get bad, we lean on the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures. What these people, the masses of these Americans had in their mind as that meant something to them, and find out it's nothing. How do we know that? Because of the reaction that's happened. They're bugging out because they believed in the American way, and now that the American way is shut down, they don't know what to do. So they want this thing to open back up and go back to how it was, because that's all they have.
Right.
See, we're looking for a better way. You know, we're looking for the king. Go ahead,
right? Yeah. Just to land back off what the brother was saying, they don't have a defense.
Right.
You know, so that's what's making these people spoiled to where Esau can just say one word, and because of his track record, they actually fear him, and they don't fear Yahweh Shemel Shah. And the reason why we can be so bold is because we actually have a defense. And that defense is Yahweh Shemel Shah. Right. You know? And we have an awareness and understanding of these words. You know? We know what the scriptures say as far as no weapon formed against us is gonna prosper.
Right.
You know? But we also believe in those things. You know? We've been practicing it. Okay? The same way in which Esau's been practicing evil on his bed, we've been practicing righteousness through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah on our beds. Okay? And what's going to be now, what we're going to see now is the clashing, okay, of those powers. The left-hand side of Yahweh Shemel Shah against the right-hand side of Yahweh Shemel Shah. And we already know the ultimate victory is going to be in the judgment of Babylon being destroyed, which is the ultimate achievement, okay, or giving the glory unto Yahweh Shemel Shah, because he broke down this system without hands. The same way in which the system was built up, as we always refer to in Romans the 9th chapter. Pharaoh didn't have no damn power. Matter of fact, y'all brothers know where, I think we brought out last week, about how he taking down one kingdom and bringing another one. Is that Daniel 4 and 17?
I think so, yeah.
Con, let's see if we can grab that real quick. Because all of this is going to show you that, you know, Yahweh Shemel Shah is in complete control. And when you have that understanding, then you also know that we have a defense. And that defense is more powerful than anything that Esau, the so-called white man, can do. Anything. As scripture says, the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning, you know? And these are the things in which Babylon does not want to hear. It doesn't want to hear that it's about to be destroyed. It doesn't want to hear that the prophets of the Lord are going to be saved. It doesn't want to hear that they're not in control. And especially as proud as these damn Americans are, they probably committing suicide in their homes right now.
Yes.
Because their pride, they've been living in pride the whole while. Now they're realizing You don't control shit.
Right. It's the Esau is don't know what to do.
Right.
You know, Esau believed in the same shit that the Jacob did. You know, it just they had the Edomite privilege over Jacob.
That white pride.
See, white supremacy over Edomite supremacy over Jacob. Now they bugging the hell out because they're American. They find out it ain't no American dream.
Right.
See,
Done.
that's why suicide rate is, them suicide hotlines is jammed up.
Yep.
They can't even get through. They damn near kill a lot of, I don't know. But the suicide lines is jammed up for sure.
Right.
There's information out there on that. And domestic violence went through the roof.
Right. Right.
These goddamn people in the house with their significant other, so to speak, and they're going crazy. They don't know what to do. People, people should be able to live within their house in harmony, man,
Right.
without having to engage in activities out in the world, man.
Right.
You know
No,
what I'm saying?
exactly. Well, did you see that clip that on YouTube about the N-Dub going crazy? She was drinking.
Oh,
Yeah. So I mean, like the brother was saying, people should be able to live in their house amongst their children and not go crazy and commit suicide and domestic violence and all the rest of that stuff. But they've been so enthralled, they've been so hypnotized with the sorcery and the wine of Babylon that they do not understand how to live life amongst their own people.
Right.
They get tired of their own kids because they ship them off to school and they don't have to deal with responsibility. That is what Babylon, aka America, does. And that's exactly Esau's agenda. He wants you to give up your rights to where he can take care of you. And now these copper top Americans are realizing that everything in which they love is controlled by someone else, and all of those things are really being controlled by Yahweh Shem Shah. Let's read that in Daniel.
This is Daniel 4, verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers.
The watchers being the prophets of the Lord. It's a decree. This is the actual decree over existence. Okay? We're not talking about your governor or your mayor or your president. See, all of those things have been created as a guise or as a ploy or a snare to entrap people's mind to believe that this is a dominant power. It can't be touched. Pursuing Isaiah the 47th chapter. Hold that for me, Bobby Prashad. That's what these so-called white people believe about America. Not realizing that Yahweh Shem Shai had already set up a decree, that being prophecy, through the watchmen. Okay? Go ahead.
And the demand by the word of the Holy One.
The Holy Ones being the prophets. Go ahead.
To the intent that the living may know that the Most High, Yahweh, ruleth in the kingdom of men.
He ruleth in the kingdom of men. Going back to either Trump or going back to Pharaoh, going back to any of these politicians or any of these global dominant, what do you want to call it, dictators? Because that's what they really are. Okay?
International bankers.
Right.
And what did was it Amsel? I believe it was Amsel by Bauer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To the Rothschild, they later named last name later was changed. He changed his name to Rothschild.
Right.
Okay. He said, I care not who make the laws. Give me control of nation's money. I care not who makes the law.
Right.
Something to that effect. I probably got a little bit wrong, but basically he said whoever has control of the money is really in power. Because really, whoever controls the money is going to control the laws that go out anyway.
Mm-hmm. Right.
See, that's really who's in power.
Right.
Whoever can control the cash flow, so to speak, is in the one that's in power. You know?
Right. Yeah. And so going back to what this brother had read, go ahead and finish it up.
And giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men.
Right. So the point is Esau, the so-called white man, is a puppet as well. And Yahweh, see, Esau thinks he's playing both sides, but he got that concept from Yahweh Shemel Shah. You know, Yahweh Shemel Shah is the one that's controlling all things. But that's what these Americans are now figuring out and finding out, is that they don't control shit unless these elites make moves. But those elites are making moves to bring in this new world order, okay, which is really just to fulfill prophecy, okay, which is the imploding of this economic system to usher in a new system of digital currency, okay, which is really more ways to enslave people. Because now cash is going to be done away with. You know, they're going to claim that the coronavirus, the COVID-19 is on money. Well, why haven't it been on money the whole goddamn time?
Right.
That's silly. See, that's what I'm saying. When you listen to that tube, okay, that programming, it doesn't cause you to think, okay? Because you're just listening and you're just eating those dainty meats. Okay, you just eating it up. Oh, okay. Well, you know, you believe in it, you trust in it. But Yahweh Shemel Shah is now revealing who these so-called white people really are. Base creatures. And the only thing in which they can do is according with prophecy. So is there more on that? Okay, go ahead. Yep.
This is Psalm 75. Psalm 75 and 6 and 7. It says, for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, meaning promotion into rulership. Meaning rulers don't get promoted into power, okay, by man. Let me read it again. It says, for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, meaning men don't promote men into power across the four corners of the earth. It says, but the Most High is the judge. He put it down one and set it up another. The Most High is in control of promoting one into rulership and taking down another out of rulership. Not men by their own power. Okay, you know, you have Esau telling he think he came into power through his intellect and his power of the sword. Right. But really the Most High. The Most High already prophesied what was going to happen, who was going to come into power, when they was going to come into power, when he was going to take them out of power. See?
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 3 verse 3. A time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down, which that's what we're in, man. We're in a time where the Most High is breaking down Esau Edom, man.
Exactly. And we in the final stages of this man being broken down. You see? We in the final stages of this, because this man been falling for a while now. His kingdom has been deteriorating for a while. We're in the final stages of this man breaking down. Right. So he's all the way shattered to shit on the ground, man. Go ahead, brother.
And it says, in a time to build up, and at the same time as this place is going down, which is Esau's rulership, the Most High is building up what? His men.
Right.
That's what's being built up, and that rulership is eternal. It's never gonna fade away from the next power that's gonna be, which is Israel.
Right. And how we being built up? How his kingdom is in the final stages of falling, complete. And Jacob, the so-called the elected Jacob, the Israelites, we're in the beginning stages of building up our kingdom. It started with our minds being built up, getting the leadership of the nation together, building their mind up to rule this planet Earth. Right. That's why the scripture says 2 Ezra 6 and 9, Esau at the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. How is that beginning of it that followed? Jacob being that beginning, coming in after Esau's end, it's going to be through us getting this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to rule the planet. See, gathering that ruling body together, to the governing body to rule the entire globe. You know? Go ahead, bro. Yeah. Oh, no, that was...
This is Daniel chapter 7 and 14. It says, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him.
Where you at again,
This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 14. It says, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion. Going back into what the brother was talking about as far as how this is going to be a kingdom without end, man. You know, when Babylon is destroyed, our kingdom is going to be forever, man. An everlasting kingdom, okay? One that cannot be taken down, all right? It says, his dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, in his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
Right.
You know?
Why? Because of righteousness. Because we're going to be operating first and foremost because the Most High said so. According to Bible prophecy. It is going to be a righteous kingdom. That's why these other kingdoms fall, okay, is because they're wicked. See? And that's why we fell during the time we were in power. If you go into our history, it's because of wickedness. So once you get rid of the wickedness amongst our nation, it's going to be perpetual life, perpetual rulership, everlasting rulership. You see?
Done. Actually, let me jump down here to verse 17. This is Daniel 7 and 17. It says, these great beasts which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. And that goes into the Babylonians, the Medo-Persians, the Greeks, and the Romans. Okay? And you know, when you read in Daniel the 2nd chapter, okay, it goes into how each of those kingdoms had a time for ruling. So as we were talking about in Daniel the 4th chapter, Yahweh Shemel Shah is the one that sets up kingdoms and brings down kings, you know, and neither can any be taken out of his hand, okay? And those are the things that are beautiful, you know? It don't matter what the hell Esau doing right now, you know what I'm saying? It's a wrap. Right. You so-called white people have been taken out of power.
Right.
We are at the stages of you so-called white people being closer to enslavement than anything. Right. And that's being shown. So we don't give a damn what you riding through here with your goddamn skateboard. Scripture talks about that in Lamentations, the 4th chapter. Rejoice. You on goddamn island, man. Kick the curb, do the whole, what is it called? Hang gliding and shit. Whatever. It's not gonna matter, man. According to prophecy. It says, anyway, I think that was my point as far as, you know, this society in itself is being brought down just as all the rest of those societies have been brought down in Daniel, the 2nd chapter. Okay? Right. The Babylonians, okay, the Medes, the Persians, okay, the Greeks, the Romans, and then now here in America, being the revised Roman Empire, is going to be destroyed again. Right. And it's going to be broken without hands. It's going to make a point?
That's why it stopped. The vision that Daniel was getting, you read about 2 different visions that he broke down the same thing but in different ways. Right. In Daniel the 2nd chapter, it's the image that he was showing. And that image represented the 4th kingdom. Then in Daniel 7, he was interpreting the same thing that we read about in Daniel the 2nd chapter, but it goes in the 4th beast. Right. About the same nation that empires that was gonna come into power. They stopped at the 4th beast, stopped at the 4th beast. You see, but why does it stop at the 4th beast? now is the time where this man is going to be taken down. You see where dominion from all these nations is going to be taken down, okay, because America is an extension of the Roman Empire. Going into what the brother was saying, this is the revived Roman Empire.
Right.
Okay, because if you read into it, matter of fact, we can, you had something?
No, I was just gonna tell the brother keep reading.
Yeah, we can go to, let's go to Daniel the 2nd chapter. Because it talks about the Roman Empire, but then it goes into the extension of the Roman Empire or the revised Roman Empire, which is America.
Right.
How it's going to be destroyed. Let's read Daniel 2 and start around like 40.
Yep.
We could have really stayed right in
Yeah, I mean, because all of these
there's
things.
a lot to go into, you know, but just to hit on certain points and Daniel. Go into.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because all of these things are being made manifest to show that Babylon, aka America today, is no different than any of the rest of those other kingdoms. They had a time for rulership, now their time is up. That's just all it is to it. But that's what these people are not understanding. They thinking that Babylon, aka America, is going to continue, and it's not going to continue, especially not the way in which it has been continuing. It's now going to speed up, okay, to usher in the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Go ahead.
This is Job 14 verse 5, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee.
Whose days, brother?
Esau's days, man. They're determined, meaning that they have a time period, man. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and the Most High governs the world. He gives the power to whatever nation he sets up. Like the brother has said, this is the Most High's movie, man. And in Esau's, or in the Most High's movie, there's an end to Esau's rulership, man. Okay, so it says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Talking with the Most High, because the Most High controls these times, man. Okay, so it says, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So there's an end to this place, man. There's an end. There's an end to wickedness in general, because there's going to be a time in the kingdom where all Edomites are going to be done away with, man.
Right.
Because wickedness, there's no need for it. There's a purpose for it, and it's being displayed here now. But in the kingdom, there's not going to be no need for it, man.
Right. Let me make a quick point. And the reason why I think that last part you said is it bounds that he can't pass.
Right.
Okay. We have to also realize that Esau, the so-called white man, okay, is a vagabond. He's on the run. Okay? From Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Alright? He's a fugitive. That's what the scriptures say. He's now about to be arrested. So just want to add that as far as those bounds. Okay? When you're bounded into something, you can't go further than who bounded you. And that being Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You got it, brother.
Yeah, okay, yeah, start around.
This is Daniel 2 verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron.
Right, the fourth kingdom is going into the Roman Empire. Okay, that was stronger than the previous kingdoms. The Greeks, before them, the Medo-Persians, before them, the Babylonians.
For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and seduceth all things, and as iron that breaketh all this, shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. But there shall be in it of
Right,
the
start back up, go back up to the last verse we read, start from the top, verse 41.
Daniel 2 verse 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes,
Right, still talking about the fourth beast, but this is going into what we read about in Revelation the 13th chapter, where it says, it talks about one of the heads of the beast was wounded, but that deadly wound was healed. Okay? Being the the Roman Empire was wounded, okay, but it wasn't wounded unto death.
Right.
The deadly wound was healed, okay, and it came back through really America, NATO, and EU. Go ahead.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and the toes, part of potter's clay,
So that feet and the toes, 10 toes is talking about the EU, okay? It's this whole power structure that we see now, NATO and the EU, that goes back to Rome and the countries that made up the power structure of the Roman Empire. You see, Rome didn't stand by itself. It started off standing by itself as an independent republic, but through warfare, taking down the different wars, taking down the different nations, Spain, French, Britannia, okay, and the rest of them, it became an empire, subdued them, and then certain countries, okay, really what we know today as European countries made up the power structure of the Roman Empire. You see, now we have that same system or power structure coming back, or that's here on the planet today. Americans didn't start off as an empire, okay? It really started off as an independent republic, okay? And through taking down the French, Spain,
British.
and the British, the water, okay? It became an empire, a power structure. NATO and the EU came into the play down the line. Okay, go ahead.
Real quick, you want to touch on that political system? That's when they started to elect, people in power through that Roman system.
Right.
Because you had made that point earlier. That's all. Because that's the reason why America has adopted it, because America is that revised Roman Empire as well.
Yeah, the whole Senate and the House, that elected officials in the power. Right. That system goes back to the Roman Empire. Okay, how they elected their officials in the power. Okay. Go ahead.
and part of iron, the kingdom shall be
So
divided.
that the toes, it said that read that part again about the toes.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and the toes, part of potter's clay,
Right. All right. Because from from the knees on down is the Roman Empire. So the toes represent the EU, because the Europe, which is the European Union, that makes up the financial power part of the power structure of the so-called white man. Okay. NATO makes up the military might of the so-called white man. And you got a lot of the NATO, some of the NATO countries are part of the EU. Go ahead, bro.
part of potter's clay, part of iron,
Right, meaning what? The financial backbone of the beast, which is the EU, which some of those NATO members are part of the EU, is going to be partly financially strong, and then the other members of the EU are going to be weak. That's why we had the whole deal with Brexit this year. The British exited the European Union. The European Union makes it part of the beast. And at one point in time, we had Germany that was economically strong, and you see now they're in a recession right now. So they becoming weak. That's why Great Britain got up out of there. They said, you're not going to drag us down economically with you. That's that iron and that clay not mixing. Part of that the EU is strong, part of the EU is weak for the financial level. Go ahead.
part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided.
Yeah, the kingdom is divided. What does the scripture say? If Satan, as a matter of fact, get that scripture.
I got you. Go ahead. Satan cast out Satan?
Yes, Satan cast out Satan. Okay. And the kingdom, I would not like the scripture to say, so I'll let some else grab that real quick. But this man is going down, man.
Scriptures say, can two walk together except they be agreed? Right now, it's a bunch of friction in the rulership of the so-called white man.
Close. This is Matthew chapter 12 and
I got it, 26.
okay, okay, go ahead.
It's Matthew 12, verse 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?
Exactly. See? So this man is really should have came to the aid of the other members of the EU. They said, hell no, we're getting the hell up out of here. Right? That's division right there.
Right.
That wasn't a thing of unity, that was a thing of division. So how are they gonna stand? This man's kingdom is shattered before his face. Before our face, you know? Go ahead, bro. It's shattered, but it's about to fall to the ground and just be completely destroyed. As thus say the scripture.
The kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron. For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Right. You see, Britain, when I'm using them as a prime example, they would represent that part of that financial part of their kingdom being strong. Then you got countries like France and Italy, okay, that are suffering. Okay, now you got that one. I remember years ago. I can't put a number on. Maybe 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe further back than that. Germany was doing good economically. Now look at Germany. Go look up the economic state of Germany. They in the third quarter of a recession. Something to that effect. You can look it up. So they weak. They falling, man. This bastard is falling, man. Go ahead, Al.
Right.
Is Daniel's. Can I just get a quick Yes.
We call him a bastard because he is a bastard. We call him a bastard.
Yeah, and all of these things are prophesied, man. You know, that's what makes it beautiful, is that they were written, you know, and they're being made manifest, you know, because these scriptures are only for the hopefully elect, you know, on this side, and the 1/3, because those are the only people that we're going to believe, you know. Scripture talks about who has believed our report, man, you know. Prophets just weren't out there reporting things, you know what I'm saying, just because they were observing these things. Scripture talks about how, you know, they were holy men, you know, they were writing and creating, you know, this story, this parable for us to learn, you know.
Right.
As they were inspired by Yahweh Shemel Shah to see the same things, you know, Babylon falling, that's what they wrote. That's what Daniel was writing. He was referring it to it as the fourth beast, you know. But it said that it was going to be partly iron, it was going to be partly clay, you know. It was going to be partly strong and partly weak, you know. It's going to have that military, but it's going to have other elements of it that are not going to be as prosperous.
Yep.
And then those are the things that are now crumbling. That
Right.
economic system.
Because what makes up what's the power of a kingdom? It's military and it's money.
Right.
That's the backbone of any empire. And when those things start to deteriorate, the power of that's the end of that kingdom.
Right.
Go ahead, brother.
Let me just get this. There's Hebrews 4 verse 12, like how the brother was saying that this place is going down, man. And it's going down by how the brother was saying through men. You know, Daniel, what was he? A prophet, man. And this is Hebrews 4 verse 12. For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful. So this word being brought out, that's what's bringing this place down, man. It's not like the brother keeps hinting on. It's not being brought down, or it wasn't built by hands, but this place is being brought down by hands, man. We ourselves physically ain't going to bring this place down, man. It's this word ultimately is Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai, showing that who rules the earth? Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai, man. That was it. That was cool. You
Did
still
you
want
go
some more,
back?
Daniel?
Real quick. To back up what you just said about this kingdom is going down by, it's not by us, but by the word of the Most High. Us bringing out the word of the Most High. Right? What they say. That's it. Bring that out, Marcus.
2 Thessalonians 2, verse 8, say, and then shall the wicked be revealed.
Right, and this man is being revealed on all angles, man. Talking about the so-called white man. Read up. It clearly, through the process of elimination, identifies who this is talking about. Okay? If you read this, and it don't take, this ain't even nothing, you don't even have to be deep. If you read this, you should be like, you should be like, damn, this sounds like the white man.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Just like him, it gotta be. Go ahead, huh?
Okay, so then the wicked,
If not,
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
if not, where
Yeah,
is?
it's not where who have done these, who have displayed these characteristics in the earth. You know? Only one nation. Go ahead, huh?
and then shall that the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
See? Then read that part again.
To say, whom the Lord shall consume
Then
with the spirit.
shall the Lord, I'm sorry, I read it slow. I want to take it a little slow for me.
They say, whom the Lord shall consume
Whom the Lord shall consume.
with the
Who
spirit.
is he gonna consume?
Right.
Talking about Esau. And not just like one Edomite or Esau the man.
Right.
It's talking about the nation.
Right.
Starting with or by taking down their empire. Okay, their kingdom. Okay, go ahead, Ash.
Okay, you say, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
With the spirit of his mouth. Who is the spirit of the Heavenly Father's mouth? The prophets. Okay, because the Most High, the scriptures tell us in Amos 3 and 7 that the surely the Lord will do nothing, but he revealed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Go ahead.
And shall destroy with a brightness of his coming.
So the prophets are going to prophesy the destruction, and then the Most High is going to actually send the words of prophecy. In other words, everything that we've been prophesying about, the Most High is going to manifest it in real time. You know, and it's on its way. We're watching it all unfold. That was it on that. Go back to Daniel 2.
It's Daniel 2 verse 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
Right, go ahead.
But they shall not cleave one to another.
Right.
Even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Go ahead.
And in that day of these kings shall the power of Yahweh of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed.
Right.
And the
So
king-
we know it's not talking about the Roman Empire,
Right.
the ancient Roman Empire. It has to be talking about an extension of the Roman Empire, because this didn't happen when the ancient pagan Roman Empire fell. The Lord didn't come back and set up perpetual rulership for the Israelites. You see, that's about to happen right now. Okay, the mark of the beast wasn't on the scene during the Roman Empire. The mark of the beast was being written, the information about the mark of the beast was being scribed during that time by John the Revelator on the island of Patmos. Go ahead, Art.
And who is that kingdom for? Who is that everlasting kingdom for?
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
So this is Acts 1 verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, Yahushua will thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel.
Right.
So that kingdom that's going to be an everlasting kingdom, it only belongs where it pertains to Israel, man.
Right. Why did they ask that question?
Right.
By the way, because they understood the prophecy.
Right.
Yahweh gave them understanding of what was going to happen. So they like, well, shit, you know,
Right.
you didn't die. You died, you was in the ground for 3 days, over 3 days. He rose actually on the start of the first day, on the fourth day, right? And then he came back and dwelt with them for 40 days and 40 nights. They said, it's got to be the time.
Right.
Like, you're going to take the Roman out of power, the Roman Empire out of power and set us up to rule.
Right.
Because that's how the prophecy is written.
Right.
See?
Who were Edomites, you know,
God.
who were during that time were Edomites too.
Right. They got a book called Edom Rome. I'll get the right title to it. Keep reading.
Right.
Back in Daniel. Go ahead, bro.
And one more quick point that goes to show you that prophecy had not been fulfilled because they had asked the question. You know, will you at this time? Because they knew that it was going to be a time, and that time wasn't fulfilled. So it had to be a time in the future in which the kingdom was going to be given unto Israel. You know, once again, because that kingdom was only made for Israel. You know, which goes also to prove that all the rest of you stinking ass heathens can't make it into that kingdom of righteousness.
Right.
As far as being rulers, you're gonna be in the kingdom, but you ain't gonna be in the kingdom of rulers.
Right.
Okay.
That's it. That book is called The Roman Empire, the Empire of the Edomites. By,
Is that 1835?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. No, I had read
I'm
it.
not sure.
Okay, no, the con.
By William Beeston.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Maybe
Okay, no, that's
I just looked it up real quick.
okay.
Yeah.
What's the name of that book again?
Published 1853.
Oh, 1853. Okay, con.
Yeah.
I said 35.
Yeah. Yeah, you just had two
Yeah.
bad numbers twisted up.
Yeah, but these Edomites, they know.
Yeah. You know the 44th verse?
This is Daniel 2 verse 44. And in that day, and in the days of these kings shall the Most High Yahweh of heaven.
What kings? The kings of that fourth beast. Okay, because Daniel, Revelation, the 17th chapter, talk about the kings of that beast. Right? Go ahead. Right. Go ahead.
Daniel 2 verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall Yahweh of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to another people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Right, there's going to be the forming how this place is going to go down. It's going to be through a war, which Esau is going to fight against the heavenly host, which Yahushua is going to be the forerunner of it, of that army. But he ain't going to stand. He ain't going to have. He's going to think the Most High is going to put it in him to believe within himself that he's going to actually be able to do something to Yahushua, which that's the Most High just messing with him. Because in all actuality, he ain't going to do nothing. We know the end result of that fight. Yahushua comes victorious, man. And afterwards, that kingdom is set, which is an everlasting kingdom, like the scripture just said, man.
Right. And this place is finito. That's how you say finished.
Right.
Finished. This place is done, man. We in the mindset, we looking for the kingdom, man. Right. Get 2 Peter, 3rd chapter. We looking for the kingdom to come, while the rest of these people are looking for America to
Bounce back.
go back to the way it was. We're looking for this place to deepen and go deeper into destruction. See, that means we're that much closer to the kingdom being established, to So we see our Lord Yahushua crack the clouds. You can start at verse 10.
Okay. This 2 Peter 3 verse 10. But the day of Yahweh will come as a thief in the night.
That's it. This time is soon approaching. We're in this time where the Lord, he coming soon. Who knows? It could be the end of this year. You know? We don't know the exact time, but we know we're in that time where the Lord is on his way back. Okay? To bring salvation and to bring absolute destruction to the so-called white man's kingdom. Okay? And destruction to their nationality. Okay? Or destroy them. I ain't gonna say to their nationality, but break them down. Because right now, they're being broken down, but Yahushua will come and put them up in chains. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
But the day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will come as a thief in the night,
Right.
in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
Yeah, what's that heaven talking about? The heaven is talking about their rulership. That's how we know that the thermonuclear destruction that's going to take place to America is going to destroy this man's rulership. Okay? Because this place, America, controls the beast. How do we know that? I love going to the book of Revelation. Matter of fact, get Revelation 17 and start at the 3rd verse. Real quick off the side. Really start at verse 1.
Revelation 17, verse 1. And it reads, and there came one of the 7 angels.
Let me hold that for you,
Revelation 17, verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
See that? The judgment of the great whore. Who is that great whore? It's America. What's the judgment of America? It's ultimately it's nuclear destruction. They say that sitteth upon many waters. Jump over to Revelation 17 and 15. What does that say?
Revelation 17, verse 15. And he sitteth upon me, the water which thou sawest.
Hold on, read it again.
He said, and he said unto me, the water which thou sawest, where the whore setteth the people and multitude and nations and
Hold on,
tongues.
read it from the top, bro. Slow down a little bit.
It says Revelation 17, verse 15. And he said to me,
Yeah, he said to me, go ahead.
the water which thou sawest, which the whore setteth.
So he's breaking down what we just read in Revelation, was that 17 and 1?
Yeah, 17 and 1, yes.
Right, go ahead.
It say, where the whore sitteth are people and multitudes and the nations and tongues.
Right, because America is a great melting pot, right? We have all the nations. You can find every nation on the planet right here in America, okay? And it's ruling over these people. They're under the authority of the whore, okay? And you can jump back up to verse 2.
Okay. Verse 2. With who the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunken with the wine of her fornication.
Right, talking about this America spreading its way, its philosophy upon them other nations. Okay? and America getting in them contractual deals with these other nations. Go ahead.
Verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman seated upon the scarlet colored beast.
And, we don't have a sign out here, but it say I saw the woman that sitteth upon the scarlet colored beast. That woman is that great whore. Okay? So what does that represent? It's like a horse rider riding a horse. Who's in control? Is it the horse or the one that's riding the horse? It's the one that's riding the horse. He's directing that horse where to go. He's controlling the reins of that horse. So the same thing right here when we're reading, the whore is sitting on that beast, riding that beast, controlling the direction where that beast goes. So if you knock that, if you destroy that woman, the great whore, then that means the whole beast is gonna fall. See? So back to what I wanted to get that was the end of that verse. Yeah, you can finish the verse out.
They say, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
That's it. So if once America is destroyed, that's the end of the beast. The beast is gonna be done. See, go back to what you had.
Second Peter 3.
Yeah. Go back to that.
Second Peter 3 at the top, verse 10. But the day of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Right. This is talking about the nuclear destruction that's going to take place here in America. Everything is going to be destroyed. It's going to be nothing. This place is going to look like a desert when the Most High gets through with it. Okay? This is going to be desert land. Go ahead, brother.
The earth also and the works that are therein.
Right. The works also, okay, meaning who? The people. Go ahead and say, and the works, the actions of the people, which is nothing but wickedness. The America is saturated in wickedness. Okay? Go ahead, brother.
Works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy congregation?
Right. So we know all this is going to come. We know before that final destruction comes, we know that what we see before our face, this COVID-19, which is going to come out of this deal, martial law, famine, the mark of the beast being made mandatory. That's the RFID microchip. Okay? Race riots, home invasion. Okay? All these things are going to take place before that nuclear destruction. Okay, so we see that time is coming where this place is going to be destroyed. What manner of person are we to be in our holy conversation? We supposed to be rooted and built up in these scriptures. So we're supposed to live up in these scriptures as we see all this prophecy taking place. Okay? We're supposed to be rooted in this word, walking in these words to the best of our ability as this place go down. Okay? Go ahead.
In godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming.
Yeah. Looking for, as we do these things, as our conversation is supposed to be according to this word, okay? We're supposed to have the mindset to hasten for the kingdom to come, meaning earnestly desiring the kingdom of heaven to come on this planet. Not desiring America to go back as it was and to make money, because the sentiment of America is to you got to make money. It's all about making that dollar, man. Okay? But now this man is shut down your dream of making a dollar. Okay? Of coming up. Everybody had the dream go through their mind at one point in time. Even if you content with a certain way of life that ain't on the level of, wealthy. Everybody had the idea that who wouldn't want to be have money? You know what I'm saying? But we gonna get it. We gonna have big money. Okay, we have big bread. We're gonna have substance, true money though, not no Federal Reserve note. We're gonna have gold and silver, cattle, land. Okay, we're gonna own all the mineral resources of this planet Earth. Is gonna belong to the Israelites. Okay, so. Right, so yeah, we're looking for that too. We're looking to have money, clothes, and women, righteous women, not hoes. You know, not money, hoes, and money, clothes, and hoes. But yeah, we're looking for that to come in righteousness, because that's what that's entailed inside the kingdom. For us to have wealth, for us to have women. Okay. The key to all that is, and what we're really looking for is the everlasting righteousness. But we don't have all that within righteousness. You see, these people don't give a damn. I deal with our people. They don't give a damn about their morals to obtain when it comes to obtaining wealth. Okay, they'll give up their soul to obtain wealth. Okay, they'll give up their integrity for not much. All right? There's nothing to go back to. What? Adultery, homosexuality, okay? Women over men, your children getting polluted in this public school system, kids getting polluted in this these institutions, these colleges, okay? Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, the scripture said, what shall it profit a man to gain the world if he sell his soul?
Yeah, exactly. What? They open up these church houses, these haunted houses. You know? Get that real quick. I know you got something? Get Jeremiah 5 and 7. This is what Jake want to get back to this. Yeah, that Jake want to get to Easter Sunday, man.
Right.
What done when this Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Jake is, well, guess what? Sorry. But this is what Jake, our people want to get back to the bullshitting and playing games. That's all it is. Nothing that our people is doing is productive. On no morally. See, mainly on the moral level. Go ahead, huh?
It's Jeremiah 5 and 7, and it reads, how shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me.
Right, they want to get back to and go further and keep continuing and forsaking the Most High. You know, instead of growing closer to the Most High, our people are not worried about the Most High. They worry about getting back to forsaking, which they're doing is still doing it, but they're worried about getting deeper into this place. Okay, because America is all about the forsaking of the Most High. Go ahead, brother.
And sworn by them that are no gods.
Right.
And
Jake is wanting to go get back into their, and they're still doing it in their mind, in the house, or in the backyard, or the front yard, or wherever the hell they at. If they walk, well, you can't walk in the park is shut down. See? Go ahead. Or get back to, I'm sorry, I was saying, worshiping these different gods. Go ahead, sir.
And when I had fed into the full,
Right?
they then committed adultery.
Right. Jake is their mind. Jake is put on the mindset of spiritual adultery. Scriptures tell us that in the book of Wisdom of Solomon that the beginning of fornication was matter of fact, you know what I said? Get that real quick.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 14, verse 12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
See, the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication or spiritual adultery. Go ahead, I.
It say, and they had committed adultery and assembled themselves.
How they commit adultery by worshiping other gods. And they go to in this day, well, read on. I'll explain after you finish reading. Go ahead.
And they then committed adultery and assembled themselves by troops and the holy houses.
Right, because where are these idols at? These idols are in temples, okay? And the actual church itself is an idol, okay? Scriptures say that we should, in Deuteronomy 20, the 28th chapter, say we should worship idols of wood and stone, and that's going into these churches. They're made out of wood and stone. What are they in there doing? They worshiping the Mother Mary. They worshiping Caesar Borgia. Okay, are they going up in the mosque, dealing with that Islam, worshiping Allah? Okay. You see, Jake is ready to get back to looking good on Sunday, putting on a goddamn act for men, as well as getting into the rest of the vanity that they get into. Okay? Like everything that Jake is about is nothing but vanity. Esau that took the vanity away and they find out, damn, now what do I do? Go ahead, bro. Back in the 2 Peter. Yes, you got something.
No, I just point. That's why to them it's going to be Yahushai's second coming. It's going to be like a thief in the night. They're not looking for or neither are they hasting for that coming. So they're not involving themselves in the scriptures and informing how they're supposed to.
Exactly. They do open up the scriptures. It's with the mind that wacky tacky Christian mindset. You know. Go ahead, bro.
Which really leads to death.
Yep.
That's what it leads to, all that. If I may just finish off.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
That's what it said at the end of the latter part of Wisdom of Solomon 14, verse 12. It says, for the invention of them, the corruption of life. See? So the invention of these idols, what it takes from them is life. The worshiping of them and so on and so forth, man.
Right. Because the scriptures say through sin we die. The wages of sin is death. The first commandment is, well, what is sin? Let's get to what is sin. We know these things, but let's bring it out anyway. Because there may be somebody out there on YouTube land that don't know. For that 1 John 3 and 4. 1 John 3 and 4. And get Exodus 20 and so get just 1 John 3 and 4 and then Exodus 20 and start in the first verse.
This 1 John 3 and 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresses also the law.
Right, so sin is what? Sin is breaking the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That simple. Go ahead. Right.
This is Exodus 20, verse 1. And Yahweh spoke all these words, saying, I am Yahweh thine power, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath,
Right.
or that is in the water under the earth.
Exactly. Go ahead.
Thou, verse 5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, upon the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
See, so our people are breaking the first commandment. You see? And when the brother just read, when you sin, that brings about death. You see? What you said? You said sin is the wages of death. Right, that's it. That's right. Well, the wages of death is sin.
The wages of death is sin.
The wages of sin is death. Alright, go back to that. Second Peter, yes, sir.
2 Peter 3, verse 12, from the top. Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, wherein the heaven, being on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Wherefore, verse 14, wherefore, beloved.
Oh, go back, read that again, because it's a key word in there.
Okay, the top. 2 Peter 3, verse 12. Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahweh by Shem Yashar, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens.
We look for a new heaven. It's talking about what? New rulership. Go ahead.
And a new earth.
Right, and a new earth don't mean a brand new earth, okay? Because Peter is really referring to what's written in the book of Isaiah. I believe it's, can't remember exactly where it's at. It's in the 50-something chapter. Matter of fact, I don't got to get it. But yeah, he's referring up in the book of Isaiah, right? And it's not talking about a brand new separate earth like this, you know. It's talking about, I believe you looked that word up, it's kainos. See if that's kainos, where it say new earth. I can look it up. 2 Peter 3, right? So watch what this is talking. Let's look at what this is talking about. Because you got a lot of like that silly ass what's his name? Vocab Malone. He's talking about there's gonna be a whole new earth that the Most High created. So yeah, in 2 Peter 3 and 13, for that word new, right, it's kainos, which is G2537. G2537 is the Greek word for that word new is kainos, and it says new as respects form, recently made fresh. See, that's what it's talking about. This place to be made fresh again. It says recent, unused, unworn. So the Most High is going to turn this place back to, he's going to make this place as it has never been treaded upon. Okay, he's going to make this place brand new again. He's going to revitalize the earth. It says, let's see. Okay, it says, in the Strong's definition, it says, especially in freshness. Yeah, so he's going to make this place fresh again. All right? Because right now this place is defiled, deteriorating. The Most High is going to revitalize, okay, this earth. He's going to bring it back to a brand new state.
Ecclesiastes 1 and 4 would say the earth about it forever.
That's it.
I got that.
Oh, that's the spirit.
There's Ecclesiastes 1 verse 4. One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever.
The earth abideth forever. But right now the earth is in a, because of such great wickedness that's taking place on the earth, it's in a bad state. So the Most High is going to clean this place up. Go ahead,
Back at 2 Peter 3 verse 12. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Wherein dwelleth righteousness. Now, since I'm already in this around this area on the blue letter, let's look up righteousness. What is righteousness? You know? So for the word righteousness in the same verse, 2 Peter 3 and 13, it's G1343. It says, in a broad sense, stay of him who is as he ought to be, righteousness, the conditions or the condition acceptable to the Most High. It says the doctrine concerning the way in which man may obtain a state approved by the Most High. That's the law, statutes, and commandments. The Most High intention was to walk upright. How do you walk upright? Follow the law, statutes, and commandments. All right. It says integrity, virtue, purity of life, righteousness, correctness of thinking, feeling, and acting. Let me see. Find something else. I'm going to the root of this word. I went to the root of it. You want to speak? Okay, I'm looking for something. I found it. So I went to the. What I'm doing is I'm going all the way. I just keep going back to the root of this word. So I went back to G1166, and it says custom, usage, right, just, a suit at law, a judicial hearing, judicial decision, sentence of condemnation, execution of a sentence, punishment, the goddess, that's going off, but it's talking about the law and justice. So it's going into the law, statutes, and commandments. Righteousness is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments really perfect, okay? Finish that out, we're going to wrap it up.
If I may just say.
Yeah.
God, and that's why the kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom, because the law, statutes, and commandments are going to be in us.
Right.
We're going to be programmed perfect. If I may just get this precept to back that up, this is Hebrews 8 verse 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, say Yahweh. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people. Right? And in that time, that's what we're ultimately going to be, man. The Most High's people, right? Because we're going to have the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what made the difference between a chosen people and a non-chosen people.
Right.
The law, statutes, and commandments.
And that's what brought in death. Sin brought in death. See? So read that last. We done on that last one?
There's one more.
Okay, go ahead. We'll wrap it up.
2 Peter 3 verse 14, wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent, that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless.
Yeah. Be diligent. So in these it's telling us in the last days, just like it says in 2 Peter 1 and 10, to be diligent. Right. That's going to make our calling in the election sure. Diligent in what? It's talking about labor. Right. Going to that word diligent is dealing with labor. Okay? This is the labor. Teaching that word, we got to keep studying to walk and talk. Okay? You know, all this talking, we got to walk. You know? So with that, we're going to wrap it up. Lord willing, us bringing out this word was edifying. Once again, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, the men that taught us this truth through the Spirit, and peace and blessings, all right, to the elect of the nation of Israel. And Lord willing, we'll be out here next weekend, but we don't know. We're in uncertain times as far as how we're going to approach coming out on the highways and byways.
With that, Shalom.
Shalom.
Like that.